Here I am sitting here with my laptop. You know what I'm on? My laptop with my fancy stuff behind me. I don't want to hear. No one can make a great record in their home. Welcome to 2 Shots and a Royalty Check, brought to you by Venmo, Your Money, Your Move, and Liquid Death, Murder Your Thirst. Let's get back into it.
What is it? What's the name of the character? Hi, I'm Derry Merbles with Pawnee Public Radio, and this is Swedish Yodel music by Klavargen.
I just always remember, and I'm Terry Gross.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
What was the other one? I'm Robert Siegel. That was the one got me. That's his voice. It sounds like that.
Is she the most famous Gross? She might be the
Terry
most
Gross?
famous Gross, I think.
What about the dude that was on Family Ties? Michael Gross.
What would we do, baby, without us?
I'm trying to think of another Gross that I
Do you know who sung that? Do you know who sang that song?
Sheena Easton.
Oh, my God, you're so close. No. Deborah Jo Rupp.
From That 70s Show?
From That 70s Show.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know if that's true at all, but it's a great story. It's someone like that.
Kitty from That 70s Show. Please look that up.
Deborah Jo Rupp.
We'll get to that in the fact check. Thanks, Dex.
Which one was that? That was...
Family Ties, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, no.
Alex P. Keaton. You need the song name?
It wasn't that. No, it was because the one you're thinking of is damn it. Family Ties
Wasn't Growing Pains, was it?
I think it was Growing Pains. Yeah.
See, I'm a fount of late 80s, early 90s family-oriented sitcoms. You want to know anything about Full House? I'm lying. I don't have any of that.
I do, yeah. What happened to Danny? Did he go on? Did he get his career back?
No, he didn't. He banged his head in a hotel room and passed away.
Holy shit. What a horrible end to that story.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. You were amazing.
Bob Saget, love Bob Saget. He would find that joke funny, I would hope.
He would.
You know, it probably didn't have enough cuss words in it. I remember when everyone learned that Bob Saget didn't work blue all the time. When, it's like, oh, no, that's America's Dad. And it's like, have you ever seen a stand-up?
Yeah, you know, watch him in Half Baked.
Yeah.
He said, you ever
suck your rock for a dick?
For weed? Fuck you.
I used to love it. We used to quote that line all the time and try to do it wrong.
Oh, God.
I'll suck your rock for a dick. It's just so fucked up. You haven't asked it right.
Wait, that's not right. Oh.
Wait, that's not right. Either way, I will suck something for a dick or a rock. Either way. That's horrible. Yes.
We always have these really great conversations in general where we solve all of the music business problems in 2 to 4 hours or 9 hours, depending on if there's beer and Greek pizzas involved.
Beer and Greek pizzas.
I miss that Greek pizza.
You know what? That place doesn't open till like 3 or 4 now. Like I just sent a bunch of people there based on us. Like, oh, yeah, you want to get all loaded on a weekday? Go to I don't know if I'll have to delete that. But, yeah, go there.
Yeah. And especially when our fan base gets exorbitant, we will definitely have to not attend that place because our fans and stalkers will be standing outside awaiting hair follicles and skin tags.
Gross. Anyway, that's what the music business can get you is hair follicles, skin tags, Greek pizza, and shots.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Should we just do it? I mean,
Let's
I guess we're doing it. We can put this in it too. Doesn't really
We already
matter.
hit record. I like to slide in like that.
Yeah, totally. I do too.
That's how I've been married twice and divorced twice.
That's what she said. Does that still work there?
I hope so.
There's very few places it does not work.
That's what they said at this point.
All right. So, hey, let's get into a little music news. Did you see that thing with King Charles?
King Chuck?
God, it's so stupid to call someone like now they're king.
Yeah.
Like I would have been better with like baby kings where he's like always king.
Yeah.
Or like, how do you go like tomorrow you shall call me king?
Yeah.
Your royal highness. Is it highness? Your royal hiney? What would it be? Your Majesty.
Your royal earness.
Majesty.
Oh.
What a
fucking... Isn't that what I call a judge when I'm in court?
Yes.
So King Chuck or King Ralph.
Yes.
Remember
King Ralph could get a band to play, but this guy, he can't get nobody to play.
Yeah.
Adele said no. All of the greats, Blur said no. That's what I thought was funny is in the article it even says Blur said no. I'm like, they didn't ask Blur.
They might have asked Gorillaz, but they don't like their standpoint on things these days.
Literally, can you imagine that if like Rise? And so now you shall be known as King Majesty Charles III and forevermore. Woo!
Yes, exactly.
Maybe that's what they're looking for. I'll license it. It to them. Fuck yeah, I know who to get a hold of for that.
Yeah. I love that record.
So the biggest thing I saw was, of course, Harry Styles is out, although I don't think he's totally British anymore. I think he's LA British now.
Yeah, which I understand. I mean, sunshine is really a powerful motivator for anybody.
Yeah, LA British is pretty hot. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're taking all of our jibs. You know that, right? The British.
They're taking all of our whats?
Our jibs. You're taking our jibs. Taking our jobs. It's a little South Park.
I thought it was a sailing term.
Or you're having another stroke.
Yeah, I'd say. Wait, that wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me.
So Harry's out. Adele's out.
Adele, no, sir. No, she's not going to do it. Robbie Williams, no, sir. Robbie Williams will not be performing for King Charles III. Take that. No, that motherfucker, he's like, even sober, he's like, I can't be a part of this. Like, even he's smart about it.
Did I hear rightly that they asked Elton John?
They asked Sir Elton John.
I apologize.
Okay, here's what I think's funny. Do you consider him like, so you're the new king, and the queen before like said you're a Sir Elton John? Like he's still Sir to the new king, right? Like the new king doesn't go. That one. I
don't think he can revoke that.
Okay, that one wasn't me. Yeah. You know, he could have done that, but fucking Elton John, total bestie of Diana. Mm-hmm. Like those two were probably exchanging makeup shades. Like what respects in Essex? Should I wear an autumn?
Yeah, yes. You definitely wear an autumn.
But, you know, like he blames that dude for like her trying to commit suicide and aneurysm, or not aneurysm. That'd be horrible. Anorexia.
Yeah, that's the one. Those are not the same thing.
They really aren't.
Yeah, not even close.
What do you think? Like who should play? Like, okay, so he's not going to get any of the good ones.
No.
But like who should play? Who could play?
God, if he could get Tom Jones, but I don't think so.
Jesus, Tom Jones or Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart's proudly British.
Sir Rod Stewart. If you get faces back together, pull Ronnie Wood in, and they can make a good rock show out of that.
That'd be pretty sweet. I think it's interesting they didn't ask the Stones, although they all live here now.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Okay,
you're
like
a
British citizen, aren't you? Don't you have?
I have dual citizenship, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay. What if Prince Charles asked you for one of the bands you manage, direct, whatever, creatively do, like, hey, can you come over and do a Type 45 for us? Would you do it for King Charles?
I don't care unless if the check clears, who cares?
Yes. Okay. All right. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. Let's get into this. Let's get into this because this is like, so it's like King Charles, if you disagree with the monarchy or whatever, and you're like, yeah, I don't want my act to be associated with that. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But what if you're doing like Beyonce in Saudi Arabia or Dubai? Or like you get that $20 million guarantee. Like what is the number to go play one of those places where you're like, pretty much everyone agrees? Like, okay, you're old enough to remember Sun City? Where like the whole thing about like we're not going to play Sun City and musicians were like we're not going to do it because of apartheid. It became a whole thing.
Yes. Yeah.
But like that's not really happening with Dubai. It's not really happening with Saudi Arabia, although it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
But you're saying there's a dollar amount.
Well, I'm saying there's a dollar amount for that particular gig.
Right.
When it comes to human rights violations,
fuck them.
Yeah, there's a whole. That's a whole. The money is not even on the. There's not enough money in the world to have me go there and play for somebody who's, breaking the backs of the proletariat or however you want to put that, and all the disrespect with regards to women and disrespect. That's a really tame term for.
That's doing a lot of work. Doing a lot of work there.
That's I mean. There's not There's not a dollar sign you can put on that for me. I've had
There's
friends
not,
that have
like literally
no,
not 20 million, not 30 million, not never have to play another gig.
If you're willing to pay me $20 million to go there and play, I can make $20 million elsewhere where I don't have to straddle that line.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know though. I don't know if somebody would pay Beyonce 36 or 26 or whatever it was.
Yeah, and I mean it really depends on the, there's also a piece of it where it's like, yeah, if I go here but I have an open microphone, I'm going to say what the fuck I think. There's another piece of it too with regards to, do I get to be me or do I have to kowtow to some
Can you drink? And if you cuss, will you get arrested?
And especially if Beyonce, like Beyonce's a woman in a place with very few rights for women. Like and yet they're paying her an exorbitant amount of money, and like a woman is property in these places, and it's like I don't.
And she was showing her ankle. I know it.
Yes,
I've seen pictures.
But like I mean, I don't have any. I mean, like whoever wants to run their business, like whatever you're gonna do, run your business. At the end of the day, it's none of my damn business. But there's a point where money is not the only answer. Like I have two criteria by which I book shows. Does it feed my wallet? Does it feed my soul? And if it feeds both of them, I'm going to say yes. If it feeds one or the other, I have to think about it.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Less so with the soul part. If it feeds my soul, I have to think about it less. I just have to think about it. Can I financially do this and not take a bath? With the financial piece of it, if I'm going and I'm playing for somebody that I have a fundamental disagreement with on their, stance on a variety of things, then I have to think about it quite a bit longer, and the chances of me saying no are much higher.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's bring this locally to like reality. How often would this come into, like, I know you play gigs in Florida, and I know we both are of the mindset that some of the policies in Florida are not great for people.
No.
Not great for the normal people. And Miami's a mess and all of that. But your fans are your fans, or the people, your clients are your clients. But like here's a great example. Like, I mean, we'll talk about like, no amount of money would make me play Saudi Arabia. But we'll play Tennessee that is about to pass a law to basically arrest you on stage if you're doing a drag show. And this is what's interesting. I want your opinion on this. So Bonnaroo's coming up, and there's a lot of great bands, Lil Nas X, Foo Fighters, shout out. And so there's a push. There's a few people that are trying to push like inside, do a drag show at Bonnaroo. Like one of the metal bands. Like Foo Fighters would be perfect. Do Learn to Fly in a Dress.
Yeah.
And do that whole thing. I mean, I want them to fucking arrest Dave Grohl on a Saturday night in front of TikTok in the world. Yeah. And to show how stupid this law is. I'm sorry, I guess I gave up my cards there, what I feel about the law. But I'm saying, like, we would not play a show in Tennessee because we disagree with the laws necessarily, because we have fans there. It's like the same in China. Like, oh, no, I can't do it in China because the Uyghurs. And I say that as I text you on an iPhone. Yeah. At least I know I am somewhat hypocritical, but I guess there's a line, right?
Yeah. Lil Nas X is going to fuck with them.
Yes.
Hard. And I am here for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love about, as far as like rock stars of the last 5 years, that human is pushing that. It's Bowie style, subversiveness. And I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah.
Because I believe that, art should challenge. Now, I don't subscribe. I don't do that personally for me, because
if you're that kind of artist, go for it.
I don't mean to, mispronoun them. I don't know what they go by. I apologize. It's a little clumsy here, but that is what art should do, in my opinion. Should push buttons and challenge opinions, and this is what music does, and they've done that since the marketing campaign for the last record. I remember talking 2 years ago about when did Lil Nas X put out his first record, and it was like 2 years ago, and I was like, it hasn't fucking come out yet. That is how in the zeitgeist this human is.
That's a plan. That's a release plan.
But with regards to him playing Bonnaroo and playing, like and standing on the stage, that button is this is Jim Morrison jerking off on stage all over again.
Yeah. Bobby Brown.
Push the boundaries. Oh, yeah.
If getting arrested on stage is, it's got to be $1.5 million in publicity, at least.
Oh, yeah.
But with social now, I don't even think you can calculate it. As long as it goes right, as long as people take it as the rebellious act it is, which is funny because the Jim Morrison thing was probably more drunkenness. Now we know the Bobby Brown thing was probably more cocaine.
Yeah. All of the above. Yeah, for sure.
But Marilyn Manson meant to do it. Everywhere he went.
He's a challenging figure for me right now, too, because I remember loving those records, and then to have all of the accusations come out of it. It's Bill Cosby, but with, less, that was definitely...
You heard him. Stu said Marilyn Manson is the Bill Cosby of music.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. That's the clip. Get more of this on the podcast.
But I again, when I was a teen, it was my late teens and Marilyn Manson, my parents at the dinner table knew who the fuck Marilyn Manson was because
it was on the
new
news.
record's called Antichrist Superstar. Is this what your children are listening to? We'll have the story at 10. Yeah. That kind of crap. And so I remember that coming up at the dinner table, and I remember fucking loving those records and loving what the challenges that he was posing, musically and stylistically, and just kind of not being a gender, kind of playing in all those places, and to find out that he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
is I guess maybe that's my own shortcoming because I tried to put a cause on him that maybe he didn't have. You know? Growing up in a very religious household, maybe I was putting that on him because fuck the man kind of shit, But I'm starting to realize as I get older that some of these humans they don't have that cause on their mind. They're just kind of just doing what they think might sell more records.
I gotta say, for all the generational wars that go on, it's one of the things that I'm not a part of that. I love the younger generations. I think it's fucking awesome that they're like pissy about climate change. I'm like, welcome. Yeah. We were on that. We were recycling when we were watching news shows that said, they're just taking it to the dump. Or, whatever. But I love that they're like, a lot of the younger generations are driven by meaning. And that, I think that we forget probably pre-2010 at the latest, maybe 2005. A lot of those antics from back in the day were driven heavily by drugs. We don't talk about it. And we should. But the kids that are on drugs from 2005 on, yes, they're still cocaine or whatever, but it's a lot of pills and weirder drugs. And there were some people that could hold their cocaine and liquor over weeks. And at some point they break and they do something shitty. And the PR people are like, he's speaking out against Florida's law, And it's like, no, he was just loaded and obviously has some mental and health problems.
He was just loaded.
But to see the way Lil Nas X does it is so pointed and purposeful, and I am trying to piss you off, and look at the artistic way I'm doing it. It's not accidental or of the moment.
Oh God, no.
And that's what I love about it. Okay, so I think we figured this out. Yeah. Lil Nas X should play King Charles's coronation. Yeah. We've got it. Okay. So let's wrap that fucker up.
Yeah, that's that done. Yeah. I'm here for King Ralph. Congratulations, Your Grace.
Yes. So Lil Nas X, 28 million. King's coronation. I think we got it all worked out. And live feed to Saudi. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So we got one of those questions in. Thank you all for some questions as we get started in this whole journey. We get a lot of questions and emails and stuff, and we'll give you all that information at the end of the episode, not piss you off about that now. But this one is basically albums versus singles. I'm sure you get this with your students all the time. Is it better to release singles versus albums, and why? And I imagine this was, is it better to release singles versus albums today? and why.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and put that editorial note in.
Yeah.
Today or the future. You want to give a first swing at that? I have my ideas.
No, because I'm always taking first swing. Let's hear from the
okay.
I'm the caveman in the room. You guys.
I'm just a simple caveman. Doesn't know anything about distribution and releasing. No, so my stock answer to this for years, like if I go talk at a college or like what I've written in Performer, I mean, I've been on record about it, is that no one listens to more than one song at a time.
Yeah.
And in the streaming world. And ever. So it's just a fact. You can only concentrate on one at a time. And so if you think you have a great song, and I think that the only thing that runs the music industry is a song. Like I've seen a million great players, a million beautiful people, a million amazing texts. Without the song or the songs, they don't get anywhere. You've got to have the song. And so, but the only way you know whether you have the song is whether people tell you that by repeatedly listening, not even saying I love it or tweeting about it or TikToking or whatever. Repeatedly listening to it, it becomes a part of their life. And it is hard for a whole album to ever do that. Right? Yeah. You will at some point be able to listen to the whole Dark Side of the Moon, or at some point you'll do that as a mission. But if it's just songs and there are just 12 of them and you call it an album, it's hard for that to become ingrained in a person's life, and they will just pick which ones. And so to get to the great songs, I think you have to release singles and then decide on the album. Some people record an album and then kind of waterfall release it, and I think that's great. I've done that. Now you have to waterfall release if you possibly can with an EP or higher.
Can you explain to the cave people what a waterfall release is?
So it's difficult without using like a visual, but I'll try to do it on a podcast. It's basically, it looks like a waterfall. So you record, or you have, let's say an EP, like 6 songs. Yeah. And one of those should be a cover, but this is part of my little program. So anyway, you do these say 5 or 6 songs. Let's call it 6 songs. And you release the first single on your DistroKid or TuneCore or whatever as one single.
Yeah.
And then you wait for 45 days and you release the next single. But as you do, you release it as a single with the first single as the second song. So think about it like an A and a B side. And then when you do the third one, you do a brand new single, and then you put the first and the second song as the second and third song on that single. It will always be listed as singles until you hit 5 or more songs that you can list as an EP. Those are the rules across Apple and Spotify. Some are different. Don't get on me. Don't email me. I know some people can get it different on Deezer and be like, that's a 4-song EP. But that's normally the rule. And then once you get down to 5 or 6 songs, then you release that last single, and then you release the EP that has all of them. Each one of those has its own UPC code. It has its own performance, its own metrics. And so by doing that, you keep stacking. But when you use the ISRC code, which is what you put in your DistroKid or TuneCore when you load a song in for distribution, the International Standard Recording Code. When you get that number, when your first single comes out, you use that same number when you put it on your second release. So you put in a brand new single, creates a new code, and then you say, my second single on this release, I'll use this code, which was already on Spotify and Apple and everything else. And so that means that each time, if your marketing gets better and better by the 3rd or 4th release, you're reaching more and more people who will then hear that you have 4 other songs, 3 other songs, and you'll get more streams on those, which count on the first single.
Fantastic.
And that's how to do. And that's how to do a waterfall release. Yeah.
It's the best hold music I've ever heard in my entire life.
Holy diver, you've been out too long in the midnight sea. Oh, it's becoming of me. Jump, jump.
I'm going to go see Vivian Campbell play in a few weeks.
Oh, yes.
Again, with Last in Line,
With Last in Line.
That's such a fun show.
Viv. I told this to Allie. I know that's like crush for Allie. I think it's so fucking amazing that Vivian Campbell is the kid in Def Leppard. He is, in our band, we used to call the last people in Shit Monkey. So whenever the latest guitarist came in or whatever it was, we had a shit monkey. We had an actual monkey. I have it somewhere. But we had a shit monkey that used to drive on the van. But then when the new person came in, whenever the latest band member was, whoever you replaced, they were shit monkey. They had the least amount of seniority. So they had to go get the Taco Bell. They had to go get the extra Keystone Lights.
Yeah.
Until you're in. And like you hope to kick someone else out of the band so you'll no longer be shit monkey. But as you build and you get more like roadies, like you have a driver, we got a roadie, we got a guitar tech, we got a drum tech. Each one of those that came in, shit monkey.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Get the chalupas. And we'd buy, but you had to fly.
Yeah, you got to go get it for us.
Yes.
In other words.
But that's crazy how long they've been together. And he's been in the band personally almost 25 years. It's like 20 years. After all of his career with Dio and Whitesnake and fucking We're Stars. I remember seeing him on the Hearing Aid Star song. God, I love that. He's so badass. God, his tone is so good.
Yep. He's ripping through that same Les Paul in an angle. It's like, it sounds awesome.
And I was in all those fights as a stoner kid about like, Vandenberg was a lot better.
Oh, I loved Adrian Vandenberg, though.
Well, yes, but I was a huge Vivian fan. I was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
And then Steve Vai comes in to do his whole thing. I'm like, what about that kid?
Oh, man. Did you see that Vai showed up at a show in, like, he filled in for somebody. It might have been, I don't remember who it was, but yeah, somebody couldn't do the show, and so he, Vai was just happened to be there doing a Vai show the night before and showed up on stage and played with Whitesnake.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember standing on the shore? God damn it, I love that album.
That's a good album.
Sailing Ships, well. Have you ever seen that on YouTube? It's just David Coverdale and Steve Vai. Everybody YouTube it. David Coverdale, Steve Vai playing Sailing Ships in Japan. And it's like they were asked to do an industry get together like in a luncheon because I have done these gigs. You're standing there in a silk shirt, a little sweaty, guitarist is on a little stool behind you, and like playing his little thing. And then you have to sing to the room. It's like, but it's so good. It's this really slow version of Sailing Ships on an acoustic, and it's
cool.
It's really, really, really good. And everybody's like, Jesus, how old are you? And I'm like, old enough to know good music.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
Right.
Which I like the new music too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, releasing new music. Let's get back to this.
Yeah.
The deeper answer to whether or not you should release singles or an album. And an album, maybe, or an album.
Yes. Why not?
Is, I think, and I've changed my mind on this a little bit. So one answer, the answer that I gave you about singles is about making money and building fans and like getting streams, right? But the other answer is albums really help musicians become better. There's this magical moment when you're a band and you get in the A room to do hand claps around the microphone. And you all have to learn how to clap by a microphone. You know how to clap, but the producer and you're working and like, oh no, okay, I need these quiet, and then hold your hand and then slap back. And you guys do quicker ones. Little things like that, or just knowing how to nail takes, knowing how to play next to a click track. Next to. I always say next to these days, whether you're ahead or behind it, because you ain't on it. No, I know you are. But
no.
But you shouldn't be all the time.
Nope.
As a guitarist, I guess as a drummer, you should. But yeah. So I think there's a deeper reason to recording albums. As a songwriter, I think it's important to try to think if you're stringing songs together of a time. So when you're in a writing mode and you write 2 or 3 songs at a time, or you write a chorus here and then you have a full song and you got kind of another verse working over here. you have to understand those are things you are writing in the moment, in that era, in this time in your life. Mm-hmm. And those somehow work together. You may not know it, but they somehow work together, especially if you're writing like as a personal artist, and not like professionally. But and so there is something about going further with that narrative. Like, are there 10 or 12 ways to look at this instead of 1 or 2 or 3? And it stretches you as a songwriter to reach out and go, oh, there are other things going on in my life other than heartbreak and fucking, and
there is?
Well,
lame.
There's also fucking and heartbreaking.
Yeah. Bed breaking.
Yeah, hey, that's what no, I'm not, I still don't have it. But I do think it's important. So there's one reason to record an album. Number 2 is that I think recording an album, especially if you're good enough at home, right? If you're good enough with getting a drum track or, using a drummer, but you're good enough at producing a little bit on your own, maybe you send it out to a mixer. But if you can record an album, and by that I also mean probably a cover or 2, but if you can do that, you have enough content for the whole year. Like you can literally go 10 deep every 1.5 months, and you can nail the amount of numbers that you have to do, which is where bands fuck up so much, is they blow $25,000 on the album and they have nothing to promote it with, and they're hoping they sell some at the show or whatever. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
But they think they'll catch fire with their 4,000 fans, and it just doesn't grow. And if you had more music to sort of leak out and have a story about and have content about and talk about and also let it become their story, you're giving more chances to fans that are possible.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you only have 1 or 2 songs out in a given time period, in a half a year, in a year, like, and for whatever reason, that was the wrong time of year, people were more into like a party vibe, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You only had this amount of time to capture fans with that one song. It may not even be that you suck. It just may be that they're all like, yeah, that ain't it right now.
Yeah, you don't release a winter song in summer. That's a piece of it. Like
you record one though in summer.
You absolutely record one. I was talking to so many people, like at a holiday time, and they're like, "Should I write a Christmas song?" I said, "You should." Well, should I release it right now? I said, "No, you should wait until next year." And they're like, "Why should I wait so long?" Because you have to release it with intention and have a plan behind it. It can't just be, I wrote this song, look at it, isn't it great, bye-bye. Because then it doesn't work for you as well.
I wrote about that. They're like, I think I wrote about in December about how many people were reaching out like, hey, are you working Christmas songs for licensing? And I was like, no, like that's all done. I mean, there'll be some briefs that come in. I will tell you, like some of the TV stations will change their IDs, from Halloween to Christmas. And so it'd be like the, 10 spooky days. And then it'd be like 10 crazy nights or over like Hanukkah. And they may want something for like the station ID.
Eight crazy.
I know what it is. I'm saying IFC doesn't. Oh, beep. Because they played Adam Sandler movies on the other night too, on the other nights. Like, well, fuck the Jews, whatever.
History of the World Part 2.
I'm so looking forward to that.
I'm so looking forward to it.
But so I do think that like albums are important, but if you have the time and the money and the expertise. I think if you're starting out, I think you have to, and this sucks for musicians now. Back in the day, you were able to go through tons of your songwriting without we had no chance to record an album. We were going to do a demo somewhere, and you had to pick 3 because that's all you could afford. But like you had to run through songs, playing them live and doing all of that before you really knew, like, people dig this one, or like I feel this one, a little tempo change, that kind of stuff. Now, there is a way to do this, though. There is a way to do a pre-single. And this is what I wanted to get to here, is we're still thinking singles and albums, right? Yeah. And those are very much... I mean, those are vinyl terms, actually, 45s and back to long plays. But there's a way to do it now. I've seen some good rappers do it. I've seen a few other regular artists. I'm not the only one who's been doing this over the last year. There are some newer people doing this. And that is, so really, what are you writing in a song? Like right now, especially if you're a rapper, if you're in hip hop, if you're doing pop music, a lot of times you start with a chorus now, right? Like songwriters are taught in writing sessions, like let's nail the chorus. Let's nail the title and the chorus, because that's going to be the most important thing. We'll get to the verses. And so write the chorus and stop. So write the chorus or write the hook, whatever the hook is. Maybe it's a mid-8 or something. But write that and stop. And then write another one and stop. And write another one and stop. If you can't write 6 30-second songs, like what the fuck are we doing here? You can do that, right? Yeah. And so what you do is you do that, you drop it into TikTok, into Shorts, into Instagram Reels, with small performance with your phone. Do not spend money on this. The whole point is the audio. And you drop that as if it's a song that's coming out. Yeah. And you see what your fans think of it. You see what the people that follow you think of it. Is it getting shared? Is someone like, that's pretty cool? Or like, can't wait to hear this? Without saying anything. Don't say I'm dropping a song. Don't even say what the title is. Just like you can put it in as a sound. And then you take whichever one of those is blowing up, spend your time on that. Yeah. Go and finish that song. And now you have a really good shot at a single. And now the other ones, they may be on an album, right? But now you know how to release them. Now you know, okay, that's probably not a second or third song. It's a fourth or fifth song, you know, and you can tell that way. It is a little bit more work. You do have to be social. You have to have following. Yeah. But fucking ain't, like nobody has had that as a possibility to figure out a single. Record companies usually had to put out tour. That's why there was a B-side, because it was like, let's put out a single. And then if radio went, we're not feeling this. And they're like, turn it over.
Turn it over. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The single idea and the pre-single, this is a dirty term. I'm saying,
I like it. That's what I call it. I call it
pre-singles. But the whole concept is kind of backwards to the instinct of an artist, which is, I created this new thing, I must release it now. And all of these things are talking about is, if you just put a little bit of patience between the art you're creating and the putting out of the art, you can really have your work for you in the long run. But, I had an artist, we were working with her, who had a song that she wrote 2 years ago, recorded 18 months ago, and she was shopping it for film and sync, and it didn't quite land. But she waited over a year to release this single, just because, well, if I'm going to have my art work for me, I need to be patient with it. And it's a great song she has. But the timing matters. I've got another artist who's I'm working with right now, who's working on his new EP, extended play, old term.
Totally.
We're still using these archaic terms.
Well, this is on tape.
Yeah, totally. I have a tape machine around here somewhere.
And it's not casting anywhere, by the way.
But what we were talking about was, he was like, I want to get my first single out by October. I said, okay, when are you going to be done recording the album? He's like, the end of April. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good timeline. I said, and so we went through the calendar and we said, oh my God, the middle of October, Halloween spooky month. And Halloween playlists were huge in 2022. I would like to point out, every Halloween party I went to was playing a Halloween playlist on Spotify that had like 4 million listens that week or some crap like that. It was huge.
And Monster Mash is on every one of them.
On every single one of them. But
Adam's
then you
Family.
had there was the new Muse record came out last year with that Halloween song on, which it got beat the shit and the critics, and I fucking love it because it's just dumb and bombastic, and I love it. It's
great.
And the video is great. But we realized in the middle of October, there's a Friday the 13th.
Very
and
nice.
We were like, oh, that's the first release date. Okay, so we're going to work up a Halloween single starting Friday. But again, that's that little bit of planning.
Yeah.
Your art can see, if you have a great summer song that you want to come out in the summertime, you can build a release campaign back from that date.
Yeah.
And
you should.
And you absolutely should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
indies
spend a
miss
little bit of
this all
time-
the time because, like,
Yeah.
that, I say this all the time, but you are a label, you are a publisher, you are the songwriter, you are the A&R person, you're the distribution, you're the PR. And so you got to take off some of those hats and put on the good one and be like, as a label, labels have people that do this competitively that go, we're not releasing Taylor Swift when Beyonce's out.
Yeah.
One of them goes
course.
first. And we figure out when, we're not releasing, Katy Perry next to Shakira. Like, there's a whole lot of things that go that way. And same with rap. You don't want to, like, especially if you're on the same label, you don't want to dilute your fan base. Like, 2 Chainz has to wait till another Kendrick Lamar album comes out. Another banger. But that's important. And, like, indies never look at that because they don't understand that their fans are listening to the bigger artists too. Like, I think a lot of times indies miss putting out a single when there's, so I know of this is a great example. I know of a chick, a gal in LA, and she is fantastic. She's doing pop, like house pop music. Okay. So it's kind of Ellie Goulding, more like.
Oh yeah. Nice.
It's good. And she has a very unique voice. So it really stands out. Her people, I'm not involved in this project, but I've talked to them. Her people put out the song, and her song, I'll tell you what it was about in a second, but put it out the same week that Miley Cyrus came out.
Oh, really?
And it completely just was washed. Her fans are the same, apparently. And the song was called Flowers.
Oh, no. Ooh,
so, I mean, SEO-wise, dead in the water. That lyric is going to come up. The Bruno Mars thing, everything was, deep SEO on that. And she was just like, she was flabbergasted. Like, why didn't they see that? I didn't know that. But there's a list. You can look at Music Database and see the list of expected releases. You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so where do you fall? Do you like the idea of recording an album or an EP? I think we both agree with this. Don't record an album if you don't have the money, because you absolutely will not promote an album.
And don't record an album if you don't have the money to record the album and promote the album.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think it comes down to this. I think it really does matter where you are in life, where you are in your journey, in your musical journey, and to understand a few truisms. Your first single will not be the best song you ever put out. Okay? So just know that. Every single band, there is not one. You can get a one-hit wonder, but it's usually part of an album. So,
nighters.
Yeah, but so just realize that. And so that's how much, putting it all in, you need to think about. You need to realize that ain't going to be it. Hopefully, if you're here for a while, you have a few songs. So, come up with a plan. Don't just put something out and not do anything about it. And like your artist, I know that they were trying to figure out what the right plan was and how much that would cost, and the right plan was very costly. And I'm still of the mindset, write and record and mix the great song, and now you have gold. Okay?
Yeah.
Fine. Go work a job and save up 10 grand to promote the fuck out of it. If you think it's that good, do you think it's that good? Because I hear this from artists all the time, like, oh, you're devaluing the music and making a product. I'm like, I'm not. You don't have to release it. It can be the best song that you and your mom ever heard. It can be. Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you and your girlfriend can love that song. You're coming into my world, releasing it. Now there's numbers involved. There's people involved, algorithms.
Yeah.
It's not about releasing it to people. It's about releasing it to the algorithm. And the only way the algorithm can read that, okay, this is important. We say this all the time. You do not release anything on social media, maybe TikTok, but nothing to people. You release it to the algorithm of the platform that decides which people to show it to and how often. So you got to play the game. Sucks. I didn't create it. Just telling you. So I would say always start with the idea of at least 3 songs. You could string a year with 3 songs and seem reasonable. But ask yourself, are you an artist? Are you in the game or not? Are you just writing a song and releasing it? Fine. The same for you. That's fine. Do that. There's nothing wrong with that. you might come up with a great song eventually. But if you're doing it, understand people expect now you're going to be releasing music a lot if I'm going to follow you as an artist.
You're into a consistent record, release cycle. You're always doing this.
Yeah.
If you get into it. And especially if you want the algorithms to work for you and not bury you because you're not
relevant,
pinging anything. Yeah. Computers are like the whole goal of all these platforms is just to keep you on there longer, as long as possible, to sell you more donuts,
Yeah, I know it's the same way for Paul McCartney as it is for you. Like when he releases digitally, it's the same thing. Like if he hasn't had an album out in a while, they've got to work it. I saw that Garbage put out a record, a song, whatever, not too long ago. They've got whatever, I don't know, 50 or 100,000 on YouTube, subscribers. Yeah. And actually, let me look. I want to see how many subscribers it is. They have 309,000.
Yeah.
And so this is 2 months ago. You can look it up right now. I'm looking at it live. So you've got 309,000 subscribers, just YouTube. I'm not going to take Spotify listeners or whatever. They put out a song called Godhead, full video, by the way.
Yeah.
2 months ago. It has 51,000 views. Now, for a lot of people, that's a lot of views. Understand in the music world, that is not a lot of views. Like in major music, like that is...
Not when you have 300,000 followers.
Yeah.
As well.
Totally. That's ridiculous. That just tells me they didn't work it. They put it out and hope for the best. And what that's telling you, as the musician, is this doesn't go to your fans. The algorithm didn't like this. You didn't put any money on the Google ad side. You didn't do the SEO right. They didn't do the SEO right, by the way. They didn't. Yeah. It's horrible. They did it wrong. I mean, this is garbage. They know what this is. Butch Vig knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
But it says garbage dash Godhead. And it doesn't say official music video. It doesn't say lyric video. It just says video. In parentheses, it's wrong. Is what it is.
Yeah, that's challenging. But again, the thing for me is, I know a lot of people they're going, this doesn't seem like a hopeful prospect. But for me, as the guy that's looking at you and I look at this stuff all the time, and I see a direct line between a musician, an artist, and fans. I now see even though the streaming revenue is not what people want it to be. I'm not going to say anything about what I think, but different show. But there's a direct line between you and fans, and you can make a real dent in things if you do this right.
Yeah.
If you play this game, and this is the new piece for everybody. This is where the old guard kind of gets a little frustrated because it used to be I'd go to my label, I'd get $100,000, I'd go into the studio for 3 months, I'd put it out, and they'd support me, and they'd take 70% of my revenue.
Yeah.
Well, now that record label doesn't exist, and you're doing all the work, but you have direct access to 8 billion people on the planet. Most of them are on the internet at this point.
You also control your team. And I think this is important for everyone to know is that so when you say work a single, work an album, work an EP, what the fuck does that mean? Well, there are tons of ways to do it. You know, social media, there's traditional media, reaching out to PR people, trying to get write-ups, blogs. Then there's direct social media, your own social media, and trying to engage your fans, build up a following. There's all of those kind of things. But a lot of times you might need some help. And that's okay. But it's pretty amazing. You can get pretty cheap help now. A few grand a month.
Fiverr is your friend.
Fiverr, totally. You can get really good help with it. At least to get to a level to where you're making enough.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, make sure someone does. That's what I see too often is a single gets released, no one cares, and the band is deflated.
Yeah.
Because they just don't see. This is why I don't see it as doom and gloom.
Yeah.
My point of view on this is that I want to know the information.
Yeah.
I want to know the game. What are the rules? What are we playing with now? And to me,
how do I level up?
If you're listening to this and you're hearing these things, you have more answers than you did before. Like now you know you're not releasing it to people, you're releasing it to the algorithm. So go find out what that means. Well, it means the date it's released, the genre it's released, the metadata that's involved, how long it is, how long the intro is, how quick to the chorus. There's a whole lot of things that go into an optimized song. You know, I don't want to get away from our artistry here either. Record that 4-disc album if you want. Just don't release it like that.
Well,
hold on
the
to
part
it.
About a band, like a band together going into a room and playing their songs in a recording studio 6 times straight. That's going to make you a better band.
Yeah,
that's and so there is a degree of this. And I remember the albums that I've made over the years, like going into the studio and making an album that made your guts turn. You were just so fucking stoked on it.
Yeah.
That was a real high point. And for me, it was like, if I make this record and this record sounds as good, I've now got a product, everybody hates that word, that I believe in, and I'm going to hammer and market the fuck out of this so as many people can get that gut turn that I got, because I loved how that felt, and I want to share that.
Yeah. I know I'm biased because I'm an older dude. And coming up,
28 is just
it's
the
new
end
28.
Of the world, man.
28 is the new 28. I know, like when I was coming up, there was no chance you could make your own album. Like none. Closest you could get, I think the first time I was in a recording studio, I was 16, something like that, making an a cappella demo. And we got it, I mean, on 2-inch tape, what's up?
Nice.
And I think we got it on a cassette, a blank cassette.
A single.
Yeah. But like I was over the fucking moon about that. Like I made that. Like at that point, that was unattainable for almost everybody I knew.
Yeah.
You could put on a boombox in your rehearsal space. That's about as close as you could get. There were some people that had
Put two together, you could overdub.
That's right. You could pull it right out of the mixer and it could blow out everything.
Yeah.
But then being able to go into a real studio, do real records, real mixing, real albums, real mastering, you do realize you are now a part of history. You're part of the people that guy or that gal worked with, the people that have been through that studio. Now, your audio is in that board. One of the places I recorded, the board had been used on I'm a Bitch from Berlin.
Meredith Brooks too?
No, from Berlin.
Oh,
on Bitch. And the Metro. Yeah.
Oh, fuck that one. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. I was like, and I mean, that's just cool. Like, even if they're not the biggest band, I wasn't a huge fan or whatever. It's just like to know your signals, your guitar, your vocals, your shit's going through the same thing. That's something we're losing with DAWs, which is fine. I'm not saying always go back to recording land, but I'm just saying, even setting out to make a record and putting the whiteboard up, tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Or having...
What do we have to do? And checking it out.
Having a track list somewhere of like, okay, drums are done, bass is done, secondary takes, whatever. Like, there is something to understanding songs and what it takes
for sure.
to make a great song. And so I would say reach for an album, go for 3 singles. If you can, always do an EP. You got probably 5 or 6 songs in you at any time if you're doing this at all.
And if you do a full album, you can split it into 2 EPs.
Yeah. Yeah. And do the EP and you totally have a year there and you take a few months off. You can start... First of all, like my plan about the actual releasing per year, there's a whole nother episode, but it's basically January's dead. Most February's dead. Industry's gone.
Exactly.
Nobody's doing anything. You can't pre-do anything. By the way, let's tell everyone why January's dead. Why January dead? Because December's dead.
Yeah.
Because nothing's getting booked for January.
It
used to be.
Nobody wants to do that.
Mid-Am and south of France.
Although there was a lot of a lot of the classic rock acts do a cruise in January and February.
Booked last July.
Booked last July. But like that's what they're doing.
But that ain't new music.
They're going to the Mediterranean and here's Kicks.
Yeah, rich people vacation during January. Good for them.
I love it. Anyway, I think that that if you go in and do it, I mean, it's definitely a singles world. The release is that when you're releasing to an algorithm, you're releasing one song at a time. But having the cohesiveness of a like a cohesive vision for an EP that's all kind of done in the same place and with the same way, and write some great songs. That's really what matters.
That's the thing, is that I don't like. There's a business side to this, right? Of releasing singles. But like the artist in me and the songwriter in me, and I am a songwriter first, is that I do not want to take away the Black Parade from Gerard.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take away some band or singer's like vision of like, oh my God, I have a fucking idea. This all kind of goes together, and we're going to like, we've got costumes for it and visuals, and like that, the story is bigger than the songs. Like, like I didn't say teenagers, I said the Black Parade. I didn't say Mama. I said the Black Parade, because the whole thing is a thing, and everything in it is pretty much fucking great.
Yeah.
And it keeps everyone aligned, that can help you on tour, that can help you with your storytelling online. I mean, so there are so many great reasons to conceive of an album and to plan to make an album. And we're just talking about releasing. You're only going to be releasing one single at a time. In fact, you can only offer Spotify editorial one track every 30 days. So I believe 30 or 45 days, something like that. So that's what the algorithm's telling you. How many songs should you put out? So here's the definitive answer. How many songs should you put out at a time? Spotify tells you one. You can disagree, but that's what they're telling you. Let's wrap this sucker up. What was your favorite sync of the week?
I just watched Sunday's Last of Us. And the end song, or no, it was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago, so this is not a week, but this is what I saw this week. There was an acoustic Depeche Mode cover, and I can't remember what the name of the song was, but it was so perfectly paired with the scene. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Was this the...
Tell me.
Wasn't this the one with the carousel?
No, the one before that.
Or that... No, because that was like The Cure, I think.
Yes, The Cure. Oh, the Cure was... It was...
Never Let Me Down Again.
Yes, that was the Depeche Mode song.
Yes.
But the Cure tune that was the carousel music, and that's the thing that I fucking love. Like, Katie and my girlfriend and I are watching this show together, and I'm going, wait a minute, is that Just Like Heaven by The Cure? She's like, sure is. I'm like, oh, that is wonderful. That is so gorgeous. That is so well played.
It's the John Hughes gay falling in love music, which is so fantastic.
Yeah, but the fact that it was the carousel music, and every now and then we'll catch something. He's like, what is that? I know that song.
Yeah,
and those are my favorite placements.
Yeah. So, would you go with the I'm Taking a Ride? Go with Never Let Me Down Again?
Yeah, that was such a...
I mean, Never Let Me Down Again, the two of them are linked to each other.
Yeah, and it was so... I'm a massive fan of shot composition. This show is pretty magnificent. I know it's lifting from the video game, but the way that shot was composed with that music, I'm like, I just want to hug somebody.
Yeah.
Because for me, the cohesion of the art pieces together to make that happen just really, really, really brings me a great amount of joy. There's also my favorite one ever is in the show The Magicians.
Okay.
Which was Take On Me by Aha.
Yes.
And it was at the end of I think it was the 4th season of that show. They had a scene that was just, and again, I watched it and I went, that is why I love film and music together.
But wasn't it a cover, or was it the actual?
No, it was a cover of it.
Yeah.
So it was the cast saying it essentially. So it was like a.
Oh my God, that's right. Yes, I remember.
Do you know? But that episode was just, and it's one of those things where I'm a massive fan of old school prog rock. But if you take that scene on its own and you haven't gone on the journey up to that point, it doesn't matter. And I know that there's like these great Awaken by Yes is the same thing. It has one of the most magnificent climaxes.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Like musically, like Rick Wakeman's organ But it was recorded, I guess, in some Swiss cathedral or something like that. If you don't go through the whole journey with these characters or with these musicians, you don't get the payoff on the end of this beautiful, emotional, connecting piece of cinema or music. And together, like, they're just magnificent.
Yes.
Now you go.
By the way, shout out to temping music editor Nathaniel Hill. Because those temp boys, thank you so much for all of your work. When you get a song into a sync run, and so they want to put a hold on it, and you get a song in on a brief, and they're like, "Yep, okay, we're just put a hold on this," so you don't license it the next day, And so the temping people are the ones that basically they put in the song, they split up the stems, whatever, they address some of the narration over under the song and when the song's fading in and out, and so they get to do that stuff, and they're the ones who actually sell the song. Yeah, they want to see if it works, and they try to make it work, and those people are awesome.
Thanks, y'all.
Mine, I'm watching Shrinking on Apple TV Plus.
So good. About 2 episodes behind right now.
I can't believe Harrison Ford is 80 years old. It's awesome.
Yeah,
good for him. Although I will tell you, this is a little out of bounds here. I'm afraid to get that short. I'm afraid he seemed so much taller. And I know that you shrink as you get older, but he seems a lot shorter.
I think it's Jason Segel is so large.
Yeah, okay, good. Good. Yes, Jason Segel is... I just picture that's Bill Lawrence. Bill Lawrence is the executive producer and creator. I just think that that's kind of what he wears. He's sort of half unclean shaven. I love it. But anyway, so they're one of the therapists is driving home in her Tesla, and she is just jamming along to "This Is the Story of a Girl."
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
A Story of a Girl from 9 Days. And the actual title of it is called Absolutely Story of a Girl, because 90s bands were fucking insufferable with their band names. So
well done.
Because when he says it, so of course, if you don't know the song, this is the story of a girl who
Ride a river and drown the whole world.
Drown the whole world.
I absolutely love her.
I absolutely love her. But that's why he sings it. I absolutely love her when she smiles. And they called it Absolutely. Mm-hmm. They picked that one word. No, it's actually about my absolutely loving her. So we're going to call it Absolutely. And then the management came in and went, you're going to fucking call it Story of a Girl, or I'm not working this. Yeah. And then they put it Story of a Girl there. I mean, I'm just imagining that's what happened.
That reminds me of the All Night Long, All Night, parentheses, All Night from Lionel Richie, where the backup vocals gets credit in the title of the song. I love it.
All Night.
So much. Richard Marx, one of the backup singers on that. Kudos to Richard Marx. I love you.
Richard Marx. Martini shots. Tink, tink. So Story of a Girl in Shrinking. It's a great scene. If you get to see it, it made me smile. And I
you absolutely love her.
Yeah. And I like when those kind of bands get a little play. I think there was a Sugar Ray song in it too. I don't know if they even got to his vocals, but they did some of the music. But so there's a whole lot of that, sort of 90s, 2000s stuff in it. I think Portugal the Man and a few other bands like that. But it was kind of fun to have that little song from way back there. And if you're younger, you're growing up or you're in school, and that's what you're listening to, and you're singing in your fucking hairbrush. But I think it's just a great driving song. It was a great, it's not unlike yours. It's not this moving emotional moment, but it is perfect for the scene.
Yeah. Katie and I are rewatching Ted Lasso again, leading into the new season coming up in a couple of weeks, and Don't Look Back in Anger is one of the songs in that, and I just I forget how great those songs are, and you hear it and you go, oh man, and the Rick Astley episode is obviously wonderful.
Yeah.
In season 2, so yeah.
So those are some great syncs of the week. Where should we send people for your Spotify class?
You can visit StuMillerMusic.com, and there's a pop-up that comes up to annoy you and tell you when the next class is.
Fantastic, and we'll have those links and stuff. I am working on my super secret project that's supposedly coming out later in the month.
Fantastic, I love it.
Yes, it is a different kind of music guru project.
No, I love this, but this is the way I believe that creators should be, always working and tinkering and playing around with something. Just always be creative.
Yes, do a little
ABC.
Do a little something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want y'all to remember to rate and subscribe, give us 5 stars, whatever. Leave a hilarious comment, even if you hate us.
Please.
Just be like,
please,
my God,
what would be great.
What's the matter with these two? But like, we're going to do this until you hate us or we're making money at it, one or the other.
Yeah.
And it may be both at some point.
Hopefully. That's the goal.
Yeah.
The goal. But we are, I'm grateful to everybody for letting us pass on a little wisdom today. Hopefully everybody got something from it, because I know every time you and I chat, which is usually 2 to 4 hours every day, of just bullshit, and then we solve all the world's music problems.
Why not monetize it?
You know, why not? And so, every time I got a phone with you, I was like, oh, I've got a billion great ideas now, and then you go create yours, and I go off and create mine, and come back together and go, we should have a podcast.
That's right. And so we do. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.